Last week, I joined Representative Chuy Garcia, Representative Jonathan Jackson, and Representative Danny Davis at the ICE Processing Center at Broadview to investigate ICE's inhumane, unlawful detention of immigrant families and our constituents. The visit to the processing center comes after credible reports that the center is being used to unlawfully detain immigrants contrary to city and state ordinances, including constituents of the members who sought entry. The report suggests that constituents are being held in the processing center for prolonged periods of time without access to their medication, to legal counsel, or even basic necessities. Let me be very clear. Just because something isn't named a detention facility doesn't mean this administration isn't going to use it as one. If you detain people there, it's a detention facility, period. As a member of the Homeland Security Committee, I came to the Broadview ICE Processing Center to fulfill my congressional oversight authority granted under appropriation laws. Under the law, members of Congress have the authority to enter any facility operated by the Department of Homeland Security used to detain people. Whether the facility is formally identified as a detention facility is irrelevant. The operational capacity of agents and staff at the facility is also irrelevant when it comes to allowing access to members of Congress. It is the role of Congress to provide oversight. Let me say that loud and clear for any my colleagues that are here that perhaps have forgotten that. It is the role of Congress to provide oversight. I suggest Kristi Noem and DHS staff read Section 527A of the Department of Homeland Security's Appropriation Act of 2024, which is Public Law 118-47. Shocked? Let me be honest, I'm not shocked. We were illegally denied entry, and while we weren't surprised, it was pretty disrespectful for members of Congress to not be able to do their job. I want you to visualize this. You have 4 members of Congress, all of them showing their ID. They're identifying themselves, in addition to wearing their congressional pins. We ring the doorbell, and we're waiting for about 45 minutes. We wait to gain entry into a facility where no one comes to the door at any given time. No one responds through the intercom, of which the cameras demonstrate that someone's watching us. We are waiting there to do the job that we were called to do by law, at which to conduct unannounced oversight. And when we finally get acknowledged, which, by the way, it meant I saw cars, unmarked cars, going in and out of the side gate, as we walked through, we were talking to someone who was unwilling to identify themselves through a little hole through the gate. He refused to identify himself, and when we told him we were there, you know what he said? Given guidance by my superiors, I'm told that you should send an email to dhs.gov. He told 4 members of Congress, including a member of Congress who is the member of Congress in that jurisdiction of where that holding center is, just sent an email. Mr. Speaker, it's really difficult to hear with the background there.
Ask for order. The House will be in order. The gentlewoman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to make sure that people understand. We have sent emails. We have sent letters. Excuse me, I'm trying to lead my special order hour, and you're very loud. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The gentlewoman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the decorum here. I want to make sure that the American people understand what happened to us. We have sent emails, we have sent letters, we have challenged the illegal, unconstitutional actions of this authoritarian government, and we have not received any responses. It is our job as members of Congress to provide accountability and oversight to the activities of the executive branch, activities that, by the way, this chamber right here funds through appropriations, activities that we authorize or do not through lawmaking, which is our constitutional role. My favorite part of that interaction that day was the sign that staff from the holding center decided an hour and a half of our time outside waiting to be seen, that they placed on the door, which reflects ICE's formal response to our visit. Let me tell you what the sign said. ICE field offices are not detention facilities and fall outside of Section 527 requirements. When planning a visit to an ICE facility, ICE asks for requests to be submitted at least 72 hours in advance. Visit requests should be submitted during business hours to the Office of Congressional Relations, OCR, at Congress, OICE, at ice.dhs.gov. Visit requests are not considered actionable until receipt of the request is acknowledged by OCR to the requester. Their follow-up email added, ICE does not house aliens at these locations. Rather, these are working offices where ERO personnel process aliens to make custody determinations based on the specific circumstances of each case. Aliens determined to require detention are transferred to an ICE detention facility pending removal or the outcome of the removal proceedings. Due to our high operations tempo, we are not facilitating any visits to ICE field offices or sub-offices at this time. Unbelievable? Maybe. But actually, it is believable, because given NOM's disregard to Congress and the rule of law, this is what they do. Do you know what makes the laws that govern the DHS facilities? You know who makes those laws? Congress. Do you know who doesn't get to just change the rules when they decide? DHS. Do you know what is not a valid consideration for denying illegally required oversight? Your operations tempo. You see, as a result of our visit and the visits of members that they've conducted in New Jersey and California, New York, and Illinois last week, ICE issued new guidance that unlawfully restricts members of Congress to access ICE facilities. You heard me right. They decided that they were going to issue new guidance to go above Congress and further put a policy in place that is against the law. And 2 days ago, Ranking Member Benny Thompson, Ranking Member Jamie Raskin, Subcommittee Ranking Member Lou Correa, and Subcommittee Ranking Member Pramila Jayapal affirmed that Kristi Noem and the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and Immigration and Customs Enforcement are illegally obstructing congressional oversight by denying members of Congress access to multiple facilities used to detain immigrants in recent weeks. Tonight, over the next 45 minutes or so, I will be here with my colleagues talking to the American people about what is happening, what we're hearing directly from them, and how we will continue to assert congressional authority, even if Kristi Noem, even if Stephen Miller, even if RFK and everyone else in that cabinet attempts to obstruct us from doing our congressional work of congressional authority and legislative action. With that, I want to yield to my colleagues who will share how they have attempted to provide oversight despite this hostile administration's lack of respect for Congress as a co-equal branch of government, and how we're actively defending our communities against this authoritarian agenda. I would like to yield to the gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Carter.
Thank you, Congresswoman, and thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to affirm a simple truth. Congress is a co-equal branch of government, not a ceremonial afterthought, not merely a suggestion box, not someone that's along for the ride. We are constitutionally equal with our powers delineated in Article 1 of the United States Constitution. Yet under the Trump administration, we've witnessed a disturbing pattern, a blatant disregard for the constitutional role of government and of Congress, and its vital duty for oversight. Subpoenas ignored, testimonies blocked, oversight treated not as a safeguard, not as a constitutional role or duty of democracy, but as an inconvenience of power. An inconvenience of having the audacity to do our jobs and to make sure, yes, sir, that you are doing yours, because that's a part of our responsibility. It's what we take our oath of office for. It's what the Constitution and the framers of the United States Constitution envisioned when they set out some 237 years ago to write the United States Constitution, that no one body would become so powerful that it can do as it pleases without any checks or balances. Let me be clear. This is not about partisan politics. It's about the preservation of our republic. When an administration, past, present, or future, believes it can operate without oversight or accountability, democracy begins to erode. Congress has both the authority and the obligation to shine light into the darkest corners of our government. Oversight is not an obstruction, it's a constitutional duty.
That's right.
We owe it to the American people to ask hard questions, to demand honest answers, and to ensure that no one, and I mean no one, not even a president, is above the law. That's not defiance, that's democracy. I yield back.
Thank you.